Alright, today we're gonna go meet some of the other cruisers here at Puerto Amistad and Bahia de Caraquez. It's kind of cool because it's a tight-knit group. They're all travelers off the beaten path, and they've all got a pretty neat story, I think, so we're gonna try and share it with you guys.
Hi, Sean McInerney, Captain and Commander of Black Billy. This is the swab, Lucille Davis.
Lulu and Sean and the name of the boat's Black Billy, Australian registered.
Excellent. Alright, so how long have you guys been sailing?
This trip we began in 2004.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been going for about 13 years now?
14 years, I think.
14 years. And it's been a kind of circumnavigation?
Yeah. Slow one. It's been good to have a look around, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so you're from Australia originally. So you've almost completed it?
Yeah, we'll be home in November, and that'll be 15 years. Yeah, the Pacific's our favourite place.
Why is that?
Because of the water, the people, the fishing, surfing,
yeah,
diving. You know.
Well, what do you guys think of Ecuador during your time here then? Do you still kind of get a kick out of going new places? And
yeah, it's somewhere it's different.
Yeah.
It's different again, and I've always thought of visiting the Andes, and that's been good. See how these people live.
Mm-hmm.
They're lovely people there, really nice people,
yeah.
Really friendly. We didn't go to the Amazon in Ecuador. Ecuador is a fabulous country. When you think of the geography, you've got the Galapagos Islands, which is a jewel. Then you've got the coast.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you've got the Andes, and then it drops down into the Amazon. And we did a couple of inland trips.
Mm-hmm.
That was wonderful.
Yeah.
And the hiking was wonderful, and the scenery was fabulous. Even without a boat, I think it's a good place to visit, you know, because of those regions, you know, in a very small area.
Well, thank you guys for the interview.
Oh, thank you. Good luck with the big trip.
Thank you.
Big trip down to around the Horn. Then you get to join a certain club, don't you? Around the Horn Club?
Yeah.
There is. Seriously.
There's something for that, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be wonderful. Wow.
Welcome aboard! Alright, man. Thanks for having us. Of course. Okay, let's get to
Well, I'm Nikki Wynn.
Jason Wynn. And this is Curiosity.
Yeah.
She's a 43-foot leopard catamaran. That's about all the specs you need to know.
Let's see, so we bought her in Florida.
Before we knew how to sail.
Before we knew how to sail. And then we actually took our sailing classes on the boat, so we got to learn on our own boat. It was a unique experience for sure.
We spent 6 months in the Bahamas, learning basics.
Everything.
Made some mistakes, learned from them. Really, the idea originally was to sail down the coast of Mexico and do all these scuba diving things, and time happened, and before you knew it, we're on hurricane season, so we had to rush down to Panama. So it was like balls to the wall, sail straight to Panama, and then we said, okay, where do we want to go next? And that's how we ended up in Ecuador.
Yeah.
All right. And then where to after Ecuador?
From Ecuador, the plan is hopefully Galapagos if we have enough time, and then French Polynesia, and then who knows after that.
It all started 6 years ago. We sold everything and hit the road in search of our own American dream.
I remember one day we were sitting there, it's a red level pollution warning, do not go outside, and that's how we decided to buy the RV. We thought, okay, we like Dallas, but there's probably somewhere we'd like to live more, and we thought, let's just drive around and see where we want to live. We had this dream like 1 year. We'll just drive around the country quickly and find the perfect place to live. I mean, you know, no big deal, right?
You can travel the entire United States in a year.
Yeah, what, that was 9 years ago?
Yeah. We're still searching.
Oh, man, lots of great places, but we're not ready to stop.
Yeah, it only took a couple of months of living in the RV, because the whole idea was this was this tiny house and a great vessel to explore the U.S. and look for a place to live. But in the process of that, we realized that we were living in a small mobile home, so why live in one place when you can live everywhere? So then that's when we started blogging about it, and at first we didn't even focus on the lifestyle. We just thought, oh, we're meeting all these great people, going to all these great places, we should talk about that. So we were blogging about that for like friends and family, and then other people started,
how do you do this? How do you do that? So then we started sharing how we do it.
It's a unique lifestyle, but one that now a lot of people are wanting to do, whether it's tiny homes or living on a boat or an RV or even just house sitting, whatever. People are realizing they can be mobile and they don't have to be in one place. So if you're a nomad at heart, it's a possibility to travel and work and make a living and be a contributing member to society. The whole deal.
We'd love to have you along for the ride. And if we achieve our goal, somewhere along the way, we'll inspire you to go out and live your dream.
Well, here's a typical day here in Costa Rica. I'm in Golfo Dulce, and here I am with my protection. I've got rain tarps pretty much draped over the cockpit, and I'm motoring back to Port Jimenez from a little place called Rincon. And there's Solecito lashed to the side. As you can see, the seas are really calm. I'm Steve Harris, and this is my boat Solus, and I've been sailing Solus for 6 years, but only away from home the last couple of years. I guess it was the beginning of the year 2017. In January we left for Mexico, and so we were in Mexico for 3-4 months. Then we passed through El Salvador, Nicaragua, and got to Costa Rica. And it was at Costa Rica that my daughter and her girlfriend went back home. And prior to Costa Rica, after the girls left, I had single-handed a 4-day passage. And during that passage, I kind of stuck to the old adage of you can't sleep longer than 20 minutes at any one spell, because a big cargo ship could come along, and I pretty much I'd sit in the cockpit and I'd doze for 20 minutes, and then my alarm would go off. I'd wake up, I'd try to go back to sleep, and I just did that all night long. And I quickly learned that for a long passage that doesn't work. You won't get the rest you need. Then you'll start making bad decisions, and I made a few bad decisions myself on that passage. So for starters, that was it. I would do a day hop you know, working my way down the coast. You can manage that and stay awake, you know, at single-handing. And then I guess it was from Panama City when I came down to Ecuador, where we are now. That was the longest single-hand trip that I'd ever done, and that was a 6-day passage. And for 6 days, I actually slept when I needed to sleep. And after Ecuador, I had planned on going to French Polynesia, but you know, plans change, and I met some cruisers that came up, Peter and Adine. I don't know if you've interviewed them, but they convinced me that South America is worth the visit. So probably in about a month's time, I'll be sailing south to Valdivia, Chile, and that's about a 2,000-mile passage. So that's going to be my biggest single-hander passage next. Yeah. So
we're looking forward to seeing you down there.
All right. All right. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You can start off by just saying your name, your boat. You can kind of describe your boat, where you've been and where you're going.
Where we have been, where we have not been. Okay.
That's good.
Running?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Peter Müller from Germany. I started in 1999 for a world trip with this kind of boat here. I think you make already some nice pictures of it. And yeah, today we are finally here in Bahia de Caraquez, where I have been 13 years ago. And finally our line's crossing here. So this is also something special. We drank already one nice bottle of champagne for this moment. That was very good. And now we want to slowly go to Panama and returning to Europe, to the Canary Islands. And maybe after 20 years world cruising, we will settle down there, but this is not 100%. We'll see if we can do it or not. That is always the question. In northern part of Germany, we went all the canals and rivers to the Mediterranean. And then we're starting up to go into Mallorca, Ibiza, then down to Gibraltar, from Gibraltar over to Madeira, Canary Islands, over to Barbados. After the hurricane season, we went up north to New York and went up to Canada. And went then from Canada over the two Great Lakes to Chicago. And then we ran down the Mississippi for a couple hundred miles to Cuba. Went from Cuba over to Jamaica, and then to Cartagena, Panama, Las Perlas, then to Ecuador, to the Galapagos Island, from the Marquesas, went to Tahiti and New Zealand, and then we visited Australia, from Papua New Guinea up to the Micronesian, the Philippines, or in Malaysia, Brunei, and we created a little company in Brunei, did some charter. We had to sail down to Singapore, over the Indian Ocean, to Madagascar, to Tanzania, South Africa, Southern Atlantic. From St. Helena we went straight to Rio de Janeiro. Well, then from there we went down to Uruguay and Argentina. And then we said, okay, now we want to go to Patagonia. Down to the rolling 40s, screaming 50s. I tell you, this was the toughest in all the 20 years of sailing. We were laying on the side sometimes. One time I really think, that's it, now it's finished. And this is a couple of thousand of miles with strong winds and a lot of current, a lot of rain, but a fantastic nature. Glaciers and the animal world is fantastic. Dolphins everywhere and whales and everything what you can think you will see there. It's really, really, really great. And then we took our little Petima, our boat, and we said, okay, we will go now to Ecuador. So now we are here in Bahia de Caraquez again. this were one time around the world.
Yeah,
So,
that's
and
great.
this took me
Good place.
all together 19 years.
19 years to circumnavigate.
Because in the beginning I was very fast, but then I figure out you're losing out. You have to take your time, otherwise you don't have enough time to talk to the locals and figure out how their needs are, how they're living. And this is the purpose of traveling around the world. I don't want to see only water and clouds and skies, and I want to make contact with the locals to know what it means to live in Ecuador or in Panama or in the Philippines. And you cannot do that. You go for 2 weeks vacation to the Philippines, you will know nothing. You are just a tourist. And we are not tourists, we are travelers. That is boat's life. We are travelers. Yeah. But I can just say to everyone, do it. Do it, just do it. That's it. It's great. Yeah.